doubt returned to planning how best to defeat the German armed forces facing the armies that he commanded. These he never spoke of, and almost certainly never thought of as his armies. Being a very good general indeed, General Bradley would do much of his planning in front of the intelligence map. There was a formal briefing each evening, which he attended accompanied by his senior staff officers. I would then brief him about the day's activities of the German army. Charlie Kindleberger, now a famous economist, about the German Air Force, another officer on German logistics, and occasionally other experts would follow, such as a ballistics man on the qualities of a new German tank gun, a demolitions expert, and so on. After this, General Bradley and his senior staff officers would usually discuss future plans and operations. This was of the greatest value to us junior intelligence officers, since it taught us to see which aspects of enemy activity we must attach particular importance to, amidst the mass of information that passed across our desks. Nor was that General Bradley's sole daily visit to the I caravan or map room when later we were in billets. He would quite frequently simply drop in, and when other generals were visiting his headquarters, Corps and Army commanders, occasionally Field Marshal Montgomery, very rarely General Eisenhower, he would bring them to our map, there to discuss plans and sometimes even to give orders. That was how I came to know General George Patton, and I shall tell one anecdote that illustrates the difference between Patton, the subject of Charles Whiting's earlier book in this series. I always thought a most unpleasant man, and Bradley himself. It was September 1944, and by then Patton was in eastern France, closing on the German frontier. We received intelligence of an attack about to come in on his ill-guarded right flank by a couple of German panzer brigades. 12th Army Group was on the move, and so, as usual, was 3rd Army. Our only means of communication was radio, and this item of intelligence was from a source that we were strictly forbidden ever to send over the air. The German attack was to come in at dawn. It was once again mid-afternoon, and I was alone and in charge. For my colonel, Bill Jackson, later President Eisenhower's special advisor on defense, was out. The G2, General Siebert, was also out, and so was General Bradley. There was nobody else whose advice I was permitted to ask as to what I should do. I decided that there were many excellent precedents for disobedience in times of military or naval crisis, wrapped up the information as best I could to safeguard the source, and sent it over the air. Patton moved some armor to protect his flank, and when the attack came in at dawn, quite easily beat it off. 3 weeks later, General Bradley sent for me, looking unusually stern. "Read this," he said. It was a communication from 3rd Army G2 stating that General Patton requested that I be court-martialed for a gross breach of security in having sent that signal over the air. Bradley asked me to explain. I told him what had happened, and he said, "Look, someone's got to answer this thing. I'm a very busy man. Draft a reply for my signature, will you?" Yes, indeed. My hero. Chapter 1. Bradley the Man. History records that the long-jawed, bespectacled general ate an early breakfast, lingered a little over his second cup of coffee in the swaying wardroom, and then went on deck just after 5. To left and right, the vast armada of thousands of big and little ships still lay silent. The coast that June morning was not yet visible. Weather had forecast there would be coastal mist anyway. At 05:30 hours.